world's population today is over 7 billion people. I want to help you better understand that population control is wrong. First of all, let me give you the definition of population control, which would better assist in the understanding of why it is wrong. According to the dictionary.com, the definition of population control is a policy of attempting to limit the growth in numbers of a population, especially in poor or densely populated parts of the world, by programs of contraception or sterilization. So there are two major reasons why population control is wrong. One, it allows the government to control what families can and cannot do. And secondly, it allows people to go against God's word and cover up their sins. There is a way we can help stop this governmental control, and that is to speak out against population control. To give a good perspective of how population control allows government to control what the family can or cannot do, and we're going to use China as the example. China has a policy that allows families to have only one child. If they have more than one child, they are punished at a higher tax rate. So families see that as an incentive to not have more than one child. China had a tradition of repopulating and gave incentives to government workers for increasing their family size, according to the article Population Control in China by Amy Hampton. China changed this policy in 1978 when the leader of China changed from Mao Zedong to Deng Xiaoping. So not only does population control allow the government control over the family, it allows people to go against God's word and to cover their sins. Companies like Planned Parenthood are giving people different options of either killing an already fertilized egg or by offering them ways to abort the baby while it is still in the womb. Going back and looking at China, who has always had a preference for which gender they want to have, and that preference is they've always wanted a male child because they're the ones that carry on the family name. With this preference, it has caused parents to get rid of their girl babies in many different forms, whether it be by abortion, infanticide, or just by abandoning them after they have been born. A census performed in 1990 showed that 979,943 girls were reported missing in China. That is also according to the article Population Control in China. This also goes against what God told his people in Exodus chapter 20 verse 11, and that thou shalt not kill. So by aborting the baby while it is still in the womb is murder, even if it is to control the population. So that brings me to the way that we can prevent population control from getting to the same point that China is at here in the United States. We can prevent that. That way is to speak out against population control, which it would seem is more in reality of government control of the family. We can speak out by writing letters or by calling elected officials in our area and letting them know that we disagree with the laws that allow the government to control what families can and cannot do. We also need to let them know that population control is against God's command of replenishing the earth. And that's the command that He gave to Adam and Eve in Genesis. So population control is wrong, in that it gives government control, and more than likely too much control, over what families can and cannot do. And then it also allows people to cover up their sin and to go against God's word. So then as citizens, we need to make sure that we speak out against this government control. And how we speak out is by writing letters or calling the elected officials in our areas to tell them, hey, this is going against what God has commanded us, and it's going against our natural being. So just one question then. What are you going to do to help prevent population control, which in reality is government control of the family?